I'm just waiting on you to exhale, brother. Like, I was just like, I saw what was happening, and I was like, I think we should start the podcast at the moment of the exhale, but nothing came out, and now I feel like I waited for nothing. You know, a little bit of a letdown, much like Zombie Galacti, things of that nature. I guess that's where we're gonna start. This is the KMBest podcast with Gerry Thompson. Zombie Galacti. 7-4, maybe the worst card in Marvel Snap, and yet I'm extremely happy that it's the worst card in Marvel Snap, because if I had to play against that, I would lose my mind within approximately 7 seconds. It would take no time at all for a playable version of that card to become my most hated thing ever.
Oddly, I played like my third version of the deck and ended up winning like 5 games in a row very, very easily.
How many of them
And was
involved
like,
you playing it?
well, all of them, obviously.
Shit.
What, is that weird? Are you supposed to play it and lose?
The day it came out, won 2 8-cubers with my Zombie Galacti deck. In neither of those games did I play Zombie Galacti. It was purely a please snap me. Like it was just saying, please snap me and then play around the thing I'm not doing on the final turn of the game, was basically how that went down.
Oh, I don't know. And then I turned the game off. So I think you're probably right. I think the internet's probably right, but I was cruising there for a little bit, and it had been a while since I had won that much that easily. You know? It was just like boom, 5 games done. When normally I've been struggling. That's kind of weird. Yeah, this card is maybe kind of weak, but who knows?
What was your meta breaking Zombie Galacti deck? What is it? What were you doing with it?
Well, yeah, you know, I'm kind of a surgeon with a wasp. You understand? I basically what happens is like I'll open a Reddit link for something, and then when I go back to my phone later, it doesn't have that Reddit page open. It goes to my Reddit homepage, which is the only time I ever see like random snap things.
Okay.
Is like whatever the first thing is. If it's a snap thing, that's what I've seen on Reddit. And there was a post that had like a Wasp, Yellow Jacket, Adam Warlock thing, and the rest of the deck looked pretty bad. But I was like, you know, that package of cards might be pretty good.
To be clear, a package of cards that I would guess individually the best of them has a 47% win rate. But please continue.
I'll take the under on all 3 of those probably. Maybe like Yellow Jacket Annihilus is maybe the numbers.
I was thinking maybe Adam Warlock in like. I was thinking maybe Adam Warlock in like Black Cat sort of onslaught combo decks, or in the end of turn deck where it's like this is not like a good card, but it does go in a deck that is kind of respectable occasionally.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking with the Annihilus thing, and then I was like, wait, Yellow Jacket still probably has a worse win rate than that. And the same thing is probably true of Adam Warlock, where it's like,
yes,
your deck's win rate is 53%, but games where you draw Adam Warlock, you're 47%.
That's what we call in the business the Gerry diff. If you run across a card like that, just know that Gerry has played 1,000 games of it. 995 were in his Mind Palace.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel seen.
Yeah. What did you do with the what we'll call the 47%er club?
Oh, I don't know. It was those cards which were pretty damn nice, honestly. Yeah. And then I don't know, just shurying it. That was pretty good. Draw your deck, shury it.
I hate to be the person that I'm about to be right now. I love being the person dunking on like bad cards. I hate being the person who's like, I wonder if this is good, knowing that it's probably bad. It did occur to me, given the context of this conversation being, we're probably going to do most of the episode about the upcoming cards, one of which is Superior Spider-Man. That Adam Warlock Superior Spider-Man is actually quite a good way to both draw through your deck and get to Zombie Galacti.
Yeah, you're not no bad outcomes. You know?
Like, is that the best thing you can be doing with Adam Warlock Superior Spider-Man? Probably not. But
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Am I gonna do it anyway? I don't know. At least for a little bit.
Yeah,
At least
like
until I stop winning 5 games in a row.
like you are gonna do it anyway. Like this is just your win streak. Like we've cracked it.
God, the new season is tomorrow for real? Because like
It's Tuesday. I mean, technically,
Yeah.
we're recording this early on a Monday because neither of us have reasonable sleep schedules. Despite the
No.
fact that I'm like approximately 100% sure that Gerry is sort of quiet protesting having to be on this podcast by wearing a quilt as an outer garment. He's like, you know those graphic t-shirts that like 13-year-olds buy from Target where it's like hard work is for people short on talent, or like I'd rather be napping. That what you're wearing right now is basically the equivalent of that.
It's just a jacket, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I've never seen you look cozier. The jacket combo with like you look like the single coziest man on the face of the planet right now. I wish I could be that cozy.
My cat left me, but I did have a blanket and a
Ooh.
cat on my lap.
Ooh. You're missing like maybe some hot chocolate and marshmallows. A roaring fire. Like that's the vibe you're putting off right now.
I have a Red Bull and a vape. It's like the same thing.
Yeah. Sure, man. That's the millennial equivalent, right? A Red Bull and a vape is our version of roaring fireplaces, because it's not like we can afford homes, right? Like we don't have that.
I live in a basement, y'all.
Yeah, my basement.
The joke is that it's KM's basement, but it's not. But I do live in someone's basement.
Yeah, my basement. Who gave you the liberty, clone number 48, to discuss this situation? We need to re-examine your programming the next time we pump one of you guys out. Like this is getting to be too much.
Yeah, I agree. You should really look at that.
All right. Let's actually talk about Marvel Snap in the context of there's a bunch of new cards coming out. Like 10 of them. And like I guess this would be the time where we talk about like, are they making too many cards? My answer, not really, but I don't feel like they're making enough cards that are monetizable, in the sense that like they're making a lot of cards, but they're all in like game modes or whatever. And then everything else, it's just like, oh, well, it's the same X thousand that it was. It's like a bunch of Series 4s getting pumped out, and it's like, I get them, but it's not like I wouldn't get them anyway, you know?
Yeah, it's monetizable in that I don't play the game modes. So they got me there.
They need to add a thing to High Voltage that lets you skip playing High Voltage, because God knows I have bought so many of those things that are just like 800 gold. You don't have to play this game mode. That's my favorite purchase in Marvel Snap. Like 800 gold, same. Don't play the game mode, get the card. Great. I'll do that every single time. And they have those for every game mode except High Voltage, which is, it's brutal. It's a brutal choice that they've made.
That's all right. I'll just wait.
What was the card you're missing? Was it Firelord or Airwalker?
Airwalker. That one was painful. I had a lot of fun with that card. Kid Omega I missed out on also because I didn't want to pay like more than 800 gold, whatever it was.
Yeah, I really do think that like it's very funny how happy everyone is with like 800 gold, get a card, and how unhappy everyone was with like what amounted to, if you played the game mode enough, like 1500 gold. Like you had to play a lot of the game mode though. I do think it is notable just exactly how poorly implemented Kid Omega was in retrospect, where it hits you with the sticker shock and it probably didn't make them enough money. So it's just a really like a twofer of bad ideas there.
Well, the clear through line for me in terms of like, oh, this makes it very clear to me that my time is finite, is that I have been playing a lot of Tactics Ogre. I'm assuming that you have not. And so now I'm doing like post-game stuff, and That just means that I could not even be bothered to like play the minimum amount of Grand Arena to get Zombie Century. So that's why I was playing Galacti instead of like trying to do zombie stuff.
I pulled a Gerry in a different game, that Warhammer game that sponsored me. They gave me like a bunch of cards, right? Or like a bunch of gold to buy cards. You're not supposed to use your gold on that. Like, just, it's a terrible thing. I did that anyway because I was like, whatever, I'm probably not going to play this game again. Wrong. I actually really like their new game mode, which is like a sort of Marvel Snap. Like, they're like a Hearthstone type game where it's like 30 card decks, that whole fucking deal. I'm not in for that. They just released like a 12 card deck game mode. I'm super in for that. I hit Legend, like their equivalent of Legend, in like 3 days. Like, it's like I played the crap out of that game, and I got into like a Warhammer kick. So I went and played like Space Marine 2, and I was like, okay, this should be like a nice chunk of time. And I set it on like the second highest difficulty, and I was like, okay, this will be a difficult challenge. And it was difficult for like the first until I learned the controls, which was like 2 hours in, basically. And then the entire rest of the game is 8 hours. It's a 10-hour game. And I was just like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself? It's a 10-hour game. And so, like, that's what I've been doing for the last week in my spare time when I'm not snapping. It's just a huge Warhammer kick, only to be incredibly disappointed by Space Marine 2 being 10 hours long.
Damn.
I really liked it. It just feels like there should be, like, a sort of extended game mode where I just get to go do things around the galaxy, because it's a very wide world and it just doesn't exist. And it's like, oh, I get what's happening now. They were trying to do Halo, and the core function here is multiplayer, and I just don't give a shit. Like, I do not care.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, is sort of what happened to me. So that's what I've been doing instead of playing Tactics Ogre, much to my eternal chagrin, honestly.
It's been real fun. I briefly looked for my PSP because I was like, I know my PSP honestly might even have Tactics Ogre in it.
A UMD. That's what they called those.
Yes.
Universal Media Disc. Never used in anything but the PSP. Whatever the opposite of Universal is. Rocks so hard that they went for that.
It's kind of like the early 2000s NFT, honestly. It's like, yo, this is going to be so important and revolutionary, and then I don't even think anyone cared to begin with,
Yep. Universal Media Disc. I had the movie Hero, Jet Li movie, on a UMD from a PSP. It was like one of my yeah, it was sick as hell. That was the shit in 2005 or whatever. Like,
yeah,
that was.
You watch a lot of movies on your PSP, man.
That was popping off, dude. It was like, just the very concept of that is so funny to me now. The idea, like, I had Family Guy on a UMD for the PSP, like season 1 of Family Guy.
You were actually kind of cooking. I don't know, man. Just pirate that shit. What are you doing? Anyway, I kept doing stuff in the post game and being like, oh, I've never done this, and then I would do it and get hit with like the strongest amount of deja vu. And so I am now very curious how much I played on the PSP version, and I'm gonna try and figure that out because I've played a lot. There's four episodes of post game stuff, of which I thought I did one of them, but 2 and 3 felt eerily familiar.
You just like you found the mind wipe machine from Men in Black just so you could go back and enjoy it again. Genuinely, what game would you do that for? If you could mind wipe one game out of your memory, would it be Tactics Ogre so you could do it again?
Lufia 2.
I don't even know what that is.
Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals.
That
classic
is the most
JRPG
name I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I rented it from Blockbuster Video, and it was cracked. No, actually, this is pre-Blockbuster. I rented it from Video Update.
I have never heard of that in my entire life.
Well, they got bought by Blockbuster. It became a Blockbuster, and then shortly after it closed down. But this game was so goddamn good that I put a different Super Nintendo game in the box and wrote a note saying how disappointed I was as a customer that they gave me the wrong game when I checked out.
Salute, brother. That is A+ work. It's crazy how many things in the 90s existed on what seems to just have been the honor system. They would just let you do that.
Behind rewind? Nah.
Yep. That seems to be the way it works. And it occurs to me that I don't know what I would do that for. My best gaming experiences by far came in Monster Hunter Freedom 2 and Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. But I don't think I would mind wipe myself from that because I don't think I could be the person that I was again. I had 4-digit hours on both of those games.
Damn.
I don't think I could play 2,000 hours of PSP Monster Hunter at my big old age. I don't think I could do that anymore. I played Monster Hunter World and I was like, or Monster Hunter Wilds, and I was like, this is cool. It's not the thing that I grew up with. It's not hitting the same exact thing. I don't know if I could really go back in time that way. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if it would hit the same. And I love those experiences. I wouldn't want to risk losing them to try to undo it. So I don't know if there's a game that I would be like, I need to rewatch this or replay this for the first time, because I don't really want to be the guy that played 2,000 hours of Monster Hunter. I don't want to do that anymore.
The Superior Spider-Man.
Right. Sure. He is a 3/4. If you have a card with effectively green power, you get energy the rest of the game. 1 energy. That's what he says.
At the start of each turn, you get +1 energy if you have any cards with increased power in play.
Which is good, but I'm not sure if it's good enough. Does that make any sense? There are cards that I like.
Hope Summers is cool, and you can get an energy immediately with a Wasp, of course, but not many people are out there doing that. Hope is generally pretty good when you're like Nightcrawler 2-drop Kitty Pride, and you just like dump your hand. But this gives you an energy a turn earlier, potentially. If you play like a Silver Sable or Bast or something, right?
So Silver Sable, Angela comes to mind. Adam Warlock,
Angela's
of course.
A good one. Naturally, yeah. So Superior Spider-Man seems like a flatter Hope, but given that it accelerates you a turn earlier, it's like, okay, maybe this is something.
The thing about this card that is interesting is that Hope was the biggest weakness she had when she came out was that she wouldn't get you to 5s, right? Like she wouldn't get you to like your Darkhawk. It would be you needed something else to be doing with that, right? She'd get you to a 6 if you wanted it, but really what she's doing is just like sort of juicing your smaller cards so you can play a bunch of them. This goes straight to 5, straight to 6, just extra energy, no effort. The real thing that I wonder about it, though, is 3/4 just a way worse stat line than people are willing to give it credit?
Yeah, it is.
What is your take on why that is?
Power creep. I mean, 3/4 was nice when Hope came out.
Yeah.
And that was what, 2 years ago almost?
Yeah, almost 2 years ago. And yeah, that was February 23. February 24, sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know, 20 months, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
It is a long time. And I think there's something that I've been trying to articulate for a while is that when you're going below curve, you need to have a compelling reason why. And there are a lot of compelling reasons why. Like, I'm going below curve so I can play the tech card that wins me this matchup. I'm going below curve so I can play the synergy piece that allows me to later go above curve. Like Frigga is below curve, but if you Frigga a V hand, it's vastly above curve, right?
Yeah.
What is the way in which we are going to get payoff for this extra energy from a deck building perspective that allows us to function when we don't? That is largely my question here.
Yeah, I mean, you could make some comps to Wiccan as well, where a lot of Wiccan decks nowadays are Quicksilver based. That is certainly below curve. And it is.
Is it? Like it's a 1-2. Like I think it matters a lot less to be below curve on a 1 because they're all like 1, 2, or 3 anyway. Like than it does to like be below curve on like a 3. Because that can be as big as like 8 or have like really heavy synergy implications, where this is just like
Sure.
a 3-4.
That's fair. I guess a lot of decks like don't play ones either. So like, are you going below curve if
Yeah.
a lot of people are just saying go on turn 1? But it does mean that, I don't know, like you have no other ones in your deck, presumably, except for the weirdos that play Quicksilver and Zabu. I never got that, but whatever. And it means that you can't like play all your cards out, you know? So I don't know. It does feel like the Wiccan decks similarly are playing below curve as well, but I don't know. This is ideally, I think, getting you to a place where you just get to play more cards. I would not like, yeah, it's going to ramp you 2-5 and then 2-6, and that it's consistent. Maybe some decks care about that, but I think for the most part, it's just going to try and do the same stuff that like Hope and Wiccan do, where it's like, yeah, you maybe this turn are not getting full value, but hopefully that is paying you in future turns.
Yeah, I just think that much like with every 3-cost card that comes out, I think this card should be a 3-5. I think this card, like, if you want me to play this card, make it a 3-5 and let me free roll the extra energy. That's bad design. It's bad design if they actually let me do that, you know? If they actually are just like, here, have an extra energy for free, that's a bad thing for them to let me do. But I don't know that 3-4 this card is going to get, like, I'm going to get excited for that. You know, it doesn't feel very superior. It feels very the middling Spider-Man.
Damn. What is current Spider-Man's win rate?
I would rather play... Actually, would you rather play current Spider-Man or this card? Because I think current Spider-Man might be a better card.
Rather play the energy card. It seems way more fun.
Sure. Who is next? It's Spider-Punk, right?
Yeah, 3/2. You can move this once. When this moves to a location, steal 2 power from the highest power enemy there.
He's actually a 3/3. Per the blog, he got an extra piece of power. So 3/3.
Okay. Did anything else happen on this mysterious blog that I saw nothing about?
It's when they release what the cards in the new season are. It's on like their website, which I guess no one would ever actually go to marvelsnap.com other than /shop in order to like use the web shop. But
yeah, I have a tab of the shop open on my phone. That's it.
Incredible. But yeah, that one's a 3/3, and Spider-Man Noir is a 4/6, and Chameleon is a 3/3. I believe there was some confusion about that because of the video.
Chameleon's a 3/3. Noir on SnapFan is a 4/4.
Yeah, that is a 4/6. Yeah.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Dum Dum Dugan, allegedly.
Dum Dum Dugan. SnapFan has for the last, let's say, 2 months. I think it's been data mined that Dum Dum Dugan is set to be released at like X amount of time. It has not happened, but according to the data mines, like I'm guessing like they had a date picked out for Dum Dum Dugan, and every time it doesn't happen, some internal system rotates it a month later, and so every time SnapFan data mines it as if it is going to be in that month. Because I learned this recently because I asked them like, hey, can you update X, Y, and Z? And they were like, no, our website's entirely automated. Like we don't manually do any of this crap. We just pull it from the data. So when you're talking about like, oh, 3.2, like this was the context in which it happened. It wasn't like it wasn't Spider-Man. It was like a couple months ago, but it was like something on SnapFan was not updated. And I was complaining about it. And they were like, look, dude, it's not updated in the data. And we don't do that manually. So what do you want us to do? Which is fair. I just didn't know that's how that worked, which is why Dum Dum Dugan keeps showing up.
Oh, there's a Creative House Mercury, but it's a bundle.
It's $100.
Oh my God.
I can't believe they nerfed Mercury going into that bundle. I feel like they threw money out the window, dude. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, not that I was gonna buy it for $100. It's a pretty dope.
It's a
card,
really good variant, and it is the only Mercury variant that is going to be available to people for a long time, I think.
I'm just saying, if you want me to buy your cards, you show me a Creative House for like $10, I'm probably in there. You show me anything for $100, I don't like any card enough to pay $100 for it, you know? But like, could you get me 10 times over?
Yes.
With like a bunch of Mercuries. I guess there's Creative House Scream. It's not very
the variants in this month are honestly crazy good. This is a month that I've had marked on my calendar as like, oh God, please limit yourself during this month. Like there are a lot of really good variants coming out this month. And there's a Cosmic Ghost Rider that's unbelievable that is also in a $100 bundle. There's a Captain America Peach Momoko Sam Captain America, unbelievable, $50. And it's just like I don't think I can legally, and I get a tax write-off on this, right? If I spend $250, that's actually, I don't know exactly how much of that, like how it works directly, but my basic understanding is like I get about a 30% discount because it gets written off on my taxes, right? 20 to 30% depending on what percentage of my taxes are of my income. Usually, probably, I would guess closer to 20. My tax bracket isn't that high. So it's nice, but I don't think it's nice enough. You know what I mean? Like that is a lot of really sick variants in really expensive bundles this month.
Oh my God. Yeah. I guess I don't know. I was trying to do Creative House stuff for like as many cards as possible, but if they're trying to sell me them for $100, I guess I'm out.
Is the Ghost Rider also Creative House? It's the one with the incredibly cool chains. Like the chains are so sick on that card. I sprung for the Star brand that was the gold bundle for 5,500 gold, terrible value, because it was the like super angry looking Star brand that like I set that as my avatar, and it's like me when my opponent does something. Just like I appreciate that in much the same way that the Blob avatar is me after going to McDonald's.
Oh my God. So many $100 things. $50 Batroc.
The $50 Batroc is insane. It's because there's like a 1,200 gold or 700 gold Batroc coming out at basically the exact same time. And it's like, all right, man, I guess if you want to do that, because it doesn't even look that different from the $50 one. It's just like but yeah, there are probably $300 worth of bundles that I want to buy this month, and I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can afford that.
Nah. Yeah, the Scream one is 5,500 gold. I'm now looking at like the like value percentage of them or whatever.
Yeah, that's a meaningless number to me. Like I don't know what that
value.
Means. I don't know what it means. Like I'm sure it's a real number, but
Galactus First Steps 50.
Oof. Like a wound to the heart. I'm gonna start talking about Spider-Punk while you just sort of window shop. Spider-Punk is a card that I think is about 6 months late, because 6 months ago, you could really play Rocket and Groot type decks because tech decks would keep the total point ceiling down and synergy decks weren't running around the way that they were. And I could see people playing like, I don't know, not necessarily a small move package, but just like this is a 3/7 that moves. I'm super into it. It's really good. It's in all my mid-range decks. None of those mid-range decks exist right now. Those 3 slots are being used on things like Mercury and Mobius when they are. It's harder to get tech into those decks, so people are going super tall, which means what I think this card actually is, and where I think it's actually going to genuinely succeed, I think this is just the second best move target. It's not Human Torch, but because it has an inbuilt move, you can very reasonably compare this with Old Vulture, which, yes, scaled 6. But inbuilt move, keep that in mind. So with 2 moves, it's as good as Old Vulture was, and you have control over where that final one is. That's my elevator pitch for this card. You don't want to play current Vulture. Get that shit out of here. But this is actually kind of nice. And in a world where the move decks have things like Hellion and Cosmo and Juggernaut, like, this kind of card can win you those Juggernaut games. When you're not Human Torching the shit out of people, just having like a guy that is effectively 15 diffuse power across the board, that's nice with it. And even though he himself will only be 9 or 11 or so, that's also nice with it.
It is, I mean, it's just kind of a good thing that he is leaving behind power buffs at locations effectively by nerfing their other stuff. Move just is so good at going very tall in a location, right? So actually getting a move thing and to kind of like spread some of that power around is not bad, actually.
He's a surgical type card. He's no Wasp, but
he's no Wasp. You know, let's get it straight. But you are right. I feel like I'm gonna play against some people who are just big dum-dums, and then I'm gonna play against other people and just be like, oh, they just worked me.
Yep. Like, this is a card where it's gonna be like, I lost this lane by 1 point because this guy moved out of it and they played a Juggernaut there, and then they won the other lane because this guy moved into it, and I feel like a moron because I was 100% dead, but I didn't see it coming for reasons unknown to anybody. Like, that kind of thing is going to happen a lot, I feel like.
Those are the moments where I'm just like, okay, respect. Make sure that I've muted this person, but respect. And then I'll probably close my game because I just got taken to school so hard that it's so deflating. It's like, why am I going to keep playing this? You know,
this guy does have a deflating vibe. Like, if he's good, it's just like, oh my God, this guy again. Like, oh God. Okay, all right. My things are getting afflicted. I've seen people speculating about people playing Luke Cage to beat this. I don't think you ever do that. I just don't think you're in the business of that.
Problem, though.
Yeah, I just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna. Well, no, it would stop him gaining power too, because that's how steel works.
No, I know, but like you need to play it before this card does anything, right? Like if you play it on turn 6 or something, then it is half the problem.
Yeah. Also, it's just like addressing the secondary or tertiary scaler in a move deck instead of Human Torch. It's like, don't just play Shadow King. Don't worry about it. Just Shadow King will solve these problems. Play Shadow King, play Mercury. Don't play Luke Cage for this. I beg of you. Who's next?
2 other cards. One is a skill called Web Sling. It is 1 cost on reveal. Next turn, you can move one of your cards away from here.
Let me tell you something. I have done. Normally, the way my process is for doing new card reviews on my main channel, when they're data mined or around then, I'll do a, like, let's look at the data mines video. And then once they're sort of finalized, like a couple days before the whole season drops, I will look at the actual cards and be like, okay, here are my reviews. On both of those videos on my main channel, I skipped Web Sling because it is so unmemorable. It wasn't even in the video. I just totally forgot about it. 2 separate times because this card is so nothing. No, I do not think you will play this card. I'm sorry, I don't.
I think it's kind of sick.
Really?
So, if you are doing move bounce stuff, obviously you'd rather have any of the other enablers, right? But I think that there's a world where you just want as many one cost things as possible.
I am willing to believe that, and I would consider that relevant if I thought Move Bounce was better than Big Move, but I don't. And I just don't think Big Move can fit this ever.
I mean, maybe, but I'm trying to think of a nice way to say that you lack imagination.
You can just say it, man. You're dude, I feel like I give out enough dunks on this podcast that I can stand to get dunked on. It's okay. You're allowed to do it.
I never feel like I'm getting dunked on.
I mean, I don't really mean it like that, but like I jokingly rib you. You're allowed to be like, you fucking net decker. All right? You filthy optimizing spike piece of shit. You're allowed to imply those things.
So when I was much younger, I would read spoilers for things and just be like, all these cards are bad. But the way that card games work is that for Magic, for example, a new set would come out, very often that set would have a pretty large impact on the like standard format or whatever, right? Sometimes it would even reach back into older formats. And eventually I started looking back on like, well, was I right or wrong? Like, are these cards like bad and they just ended up seeing play regardless or whatever? Or was I maybe looking at things the wrong way? And I think I was looking at things the wrong way in that I was looking at things through like the current paradigm and just being like, do any of these cleanly slot in here anywhere? And the answer to that most often is no. Because, for example, like Arcbound Ravager came out when Broodstar Affinity was a thing. One of the cards was like, I want you to put artifacts into play and keep them there. And the other one was like, I want to put artifacts in play and then sacrifice them all. And clearly the keep them there deck did not want the sacrifice them all stuff. But if you cut one of them for the other, it got way better. You know, like that kind of thing. It's just like decks change. They just do. And typically what allows decks to change is when they get more, better, cheaper spells. And I'm not saying that this is one of those examples, but it is whenever I see something like this, I'm like, oh, okay, this is like a pretty good role player should that ever want to come to fruition.
So I think that's a generally reasonable critique of the lens I approach this stuff in. I think that's like a very cogent and well thought out analysis of like a potential flaw in my reasoning. That said, I do not think it applies to web sling. Largely because of what you mentioned, which is the things that do exactly what this does. Not like the competition. The things that do exactly what this does are much better than it. In a world where you actually want 4 1-drops that say move, I think maybe this is your 4th 1-drops that says move. I buy that, you know?
I mean, it's different in that Ghost Spider is stronger than Iron Fist, right?
Correct.
And this is more of a Ghost Spider than an Iron Fist.
I think the biggest downside this card has is that it is a turn delayed and does not add power. That's the big thing.
Add power is sometimes a downside.
Because I know this is a little current paradigm, but I think this is probably going to be true until they do something about the card. Move decks are about Human Torch, right? So like with Aranya, it being delayed is like, okay, it's fine, it's delayed, but it's way better with Human Torch, right? Like I'm way into that, right? With Sparky, it's like, okay, it's delayed, but it's way better with Human Torch. With this, I would just
this doesn't comp as Sparky for
right. I'm just giving examples of like this is when it's delayed and it's compensated for by the power. This, I think, is worse than all 3 of the 1-drops that you could play and move. It is worse than Iron Fist. It is worse than Ghost Spider. It is worse than Aranya.
Yep. And I'm saying, what if there's a deck where you want 4?
I know. And I'm saying, if there's a deck when you want 4, I buy it. I don't think there's going to be until they make, I guess, What I really think the deck needs, if you want that fourth thing, is like Dagger 2. We almost have Human Torch 2, but we need Dagger 2 if you want that, right? Because then you just want
I agree with
four
that.
payoffs. You want 4 payoffs and as many cheap enablers as you can get, and then we're talking about that deck, right? I don't think we're there, and I don't know that we'll get there anytime soon. Then again, we do get a Spider season like every 6 months, so who knows? Maybe we'll get another one.
They got to give us something at some point. All right. Other card is Man Spider. 5/1 on reveal. Merge the last card you played into this. When this merges, double its power.
The most interesting thing about this card is that it doesn't say here on it.
True. So it's that's the spider aspect of the card, I guess. It's kind of like it moves the card.
Yeah, it's like that's the most interesting thing for me is like you'd think a card like this would say here because every other card says here that does this, but it's like cross-board moving. It's like cross-board, man spidering. It's like, okay, that's a pretty cool and unique thing to do. Like that's nice, right? And then when something merges into this, it doubles its power, so you can be like, oh, I'm gonna Hulkbuster this after you've done your man spider, and it'll double again. It's like, all right, there's cool stuff here. What here's a question. If you Arnim Zola this, does it then merge with the Arnim Zola?
No, it merges with the thing before the Zola, because the Zola is still in the middle of resolving.
Okay, so it would try to merge with itself, presumably? I guess.
But that card is gone, so it would just say no target, I think.
Okay. I was just wondering
if you had a turn in between there.
Yeah. Well, at least it doesn't totally brick itself with Zola. When they buffed Electro, which, by the way, hilarious subplot. I don't know how many people have been paying attention to like the subplot of Electro and Marvel Snap. He's gone from a 3/2 to a 3/5, and very little about him has changed because his baseline function is to be blinked. Like, why do you exist is to be blinked. Like, that's what that's what they do, right? And so he just keeps getting power buffs, and it's like the buffs to Electro will continue until morale improves, and morale has never improved. And so now he's a 3/5, and it's like he's still getting blinked, but now you can cross-board man spider him. That's actually kind of interesting. Like, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Okay, man spider, that's a 5/12 on turn 4, and my Electro restriction is gone. I don't hate that. They specifically called it out in the patch notes too, and I think Electro decks are quite good right now in the sense that they are Storm War Machine Legion decks, which is to say the Electro stuff's kind of the plan B, but the Storm War Machine Legion stuff does go in there, and it is cool as hell.
Okay.
That's my pitch.
Cool.
That's my pitch for Man Spider. Electro, you're going to be a 3/6 in 6 months.
I would not be shocked. The week after... Wait.
You didn't do that on purpose, did you?
What?
I would not be shocked. Electro.
Oh, yeah, I would not be shocked. Get it? Because he's Electro. I just watched the Jamie Foxx Spider-Man movie too.
Yeah? I never saw it.
Okay, that was another deja vu moment. I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't see this. And then I was like, maybe I did see this. But it was bad.
Yeah, I would imagine it was bad. Electro's a villain who's always been very funny to me. Because when you think about what his superpower is, there's no way he should ever be losing to anyone. But he's such a moron that he constantly does.
Yeah.
There's also a moment in the Spider-Man game, the first Insomniac Spider-Man game, where Spider-Man does like a quip that Electro gets the reference of and like quips the line back at him, and Spider-Man is so happy that someone finally understood his joke. And I really appreciated that moment from Electro. Like that was good characterization. He's just such a New York guy. I liked it a lot. But yeah, like I think Electro's fundamental thing is that he's like got the power of a god, but an IQ of 70. And like that's just sort of his whole deal. Is like, I can do whatever I want. I can make lightning from whatever. The lightning that runs through me lets me lift up to 650 pounds. What am I going to go do with this? I'm going to rob a bank. I
Yeah.
could solve the energy. I'm gonna rob a bank. Like he
It's
rocks.
the Sauron thing all over again.
Yeah, I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. But at least Sauron is like, I want to explore frontiers of science. Electro is like, I want $4,000. The horizons of his experience are so small.
Dude, he's rolling up to banks going, give me all your NFTs.
I need your bored apes. Electro lost all of his money investing in Bored Ape Yacht Club and is now robbing ATMs. Like that is the average Electro storyline, it feels like. It's just like, how are you possibly this useless given what you could be doing? You could be the human power plant. You could clock on for an hour a day, go bzzz, be so beneficial to humanity, they would probably give you your own department of the government. And instead, you need $2,500 to pay off a gambling debt. Like he's so cool.
He could use that power to mine his own Bitcoin, you know?
that actually seems like something Electro would do. Like Electro's just running his own Bitcoin farm, but he got in really late. So even though he has all this electricity, he's just not really getting a lot of a payoff out of it. So he goes and robs a bank for $1,400.85.
Well, back to prison.
Yeah.
That's your 80th strike, bud. Sorry.
He's so cool. He
it's
might actually be my favorite Spider-Man villain.
That Spider-Man movie, he was like a scientist at Oscorp. Like he was like a super smart. Well, I mean, like allegedly, but
they're very show don't tell. What was his plan in the movie?
I don't know. It was like he wanted clout. I know that he wanted clout.
That rocks, man. It's just like you get the power of literally the king of the gods, Zeus, right? And what do? You just like, I'm going on Instagram. I need people to.
Like
I need some followers.
I'm streaming live from Times Square.
I'm buying Instagram likes.
Yeah.
That's average Electro thought process. He's so cool. He is the greatest. He is the absolute king.
He's just trying to hit Twitch partner, you know?
He's complaining about how hard he's complaining about how hard it is to like pay for the equipment that he's using, despite the fact that he could be generating his own electricity. He's robbing banks to buy a gaming PC. That's my man. Like
the Elgato equipment is not cheap, you know.
He's hustling on the street at dice games to try to afford like a stream deck. That's the Electro lifestyle. He's the coolest man alive. He's so small time compared to anyone else with that power set. That is the fundamental beauty of Spider-Man villains, is like they all have these incredibly outlandish, ridiculous power sets, and all of them are just like, I have never left New York in my entire life.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it was the guy in Billions who is the DA who is Rhino, but instead of making him like a rhino, they put him in like rhino armor.
The guy in Billions who's the DA.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti is the DA in Billions, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Was he not the Rhino?
I don't think so. Am I getting my shows mixed up? Is Billions the other one? Like,
I'm looking this up.
Because I think I know who you're talking about, and he's not the DA. Like, you're talking about the main character in Billions, right?
No,
like
no. It's Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti is the Rhino?
Is he not?
That's the worst. There is no possible way that happened.
Okay, I'm gonna look up it. It was. I thought it was weird because it was like a Russian, like It was a guy with like prison tats doing a Russian accent, and it looked like him. I just thought it was him.
You thought Paul Giamatti, like Academy Award winning, Paul Giamatti. You're like, they had him do a cameo as the Rhino? Like, famously good speaker, the Rhino?
I'm looking. Why are they showing me? They're on IMDb. They're listing a hot girl before the Rhino.
It's not Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, I'm guessing not. We'll come back to it. Keep talking.
No, just Google is Paul Giamatti the Rhino. I'm on this now. This is important. This is crucial information.
Dude, he's not even listed.
I wonder why. What could possibly?
Oh, I'm looking at the first one.
Oh, all right. If it turns out Paul Giamatti is actually the Rhino,
dude, it is.
Oh my god,
it is.
Are you fucking with me?
I'm not. Go look it up.
That I can't go look it up. I have to trust you. If I go look it up, your screen will turn black. I have to trust you on this. Who was in charge of the casting department for these movies? That's insane. That's insane. That is the worst decision I have ever heard of in my life. That's an absolutely insane thing for anyone to do. That is...
I am so happy right now because I felt like I was getting Berenstain Bears like in real time. Like I watched this movie like 2 weeks ago.
I've never seen the movie. I just assumed that because that's such a insane thing for anyone to come up with. Who should we cast as famous blockhead the Rhino? Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, imagine him doing a Russian accent. It was not great.
What the fuck? Dude, that is so insanely terrible. That might be the worst casting decision I have ever heard of. It is like a joke. Who should we cast as the Rhino? Paul Giamatti.
I mean, I was amused.
It's like casting Wallace Shawn. What are you doing? What the?
I was amused, but not as much as you are, and I'm kind of loving this.
I don't even know if I would describe myself as amused so much as like, damn, I totally understand why they stopped making those movies. Like, how do you make that decision? What happened there? Are the people really crying out for a sequel with Paul Giamatti as the Rhino? A real soulful portrayal of the fucking Rhino? You need a really good actor to play the Rhino? It's the Rhino, dude. Cast Paul Giamatti as like Lizard or whatever. I don't care. It's the Rhino. What are we doing here? Like, cast him as someone who says 4 words. That's unbelievable to me. First, that you recognize that was Paul Giamatti. Secondly, that just looks like AI. Like, I'm out. That looks like Paul Giamatti is a space marine, which probably should happen. If they do a Warhammer 40K movie, they should cast Paul Giamatti as Marnius Calgar. That
little behind the scenes action for you.
Oh my god. I have never been so glad I didn't see a movie. Like, when you hear something like they cast Paul Giamatti as the Rhino.
Wait.
Yes?
Hold up.
Go on.
So did they make a third Amazing Spider-Man?
No. But I know the end scene of Amazing Spider-Man 2 was him facing off against the Rhino. I just never knew the Rhino was Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, because I happily would have put on the third one and then couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I just saw an article that said that Giamatti was going to reprise his role in No Way Home. So I'm looking at the No Way Home credits.
Dog.
Was he in that?
I do not believe that he was. That is insanely funny. This might be the greatest moment in the history of this podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Not listed. Not listed.
Damn, they cut my guy out.
Hold on, I'm gonna click on this article though. Oh my god, dude, look at this picture. This is incredible. Oh.
Holy shit, man. I now feel retroactively worse about No Way Home for acknowledging this franchise that cast Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. Like, I'm sorry, dude. It's over. Like, we're done here, dude. Like, I cannot respect that franchise. I didn't think I could disrespect MCU stuff any more than I already could. But frankly, hearing they cast Paul Giamatti as the Rhino makes me feel so much better about the MCU compared to like the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Like that say what you want about how ridiculous MCU is. I don't think they would ever do something that ridiculous. I cannot think of a more ridiculous thing to do.
Okay, did you notice that he's got he's got like the Adidas tracksuit and everything? Oh, it's sick.
This is so sick. It's like if in The Princess Bride, they swapped Andre the Giant and Wallace Shawn. And they were like, you should play. They were like, Wallace Shawn, you need to play Andre the Giant's character. That's what casting Paul Giamatti as the Rhino is. That's the coolest shit on earth. This honestly makes me wish this movie existed. I need the Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I think it's called No Way Home. The article I just read, which is clearly reputable because it's on the internet, said that Paul Giamatti had a lot of fun playing the character. So there you go.
I'm sure he did. I mean, it's definitely casting against type. You could make a bunch of like arguments like, oh yeah, it's actually a very inspired choice. It is. I have tears in my eyes. It's one of the funniest things I've ever even conceived. Get Paul Giamatti in Adidas tracksuit. Stat. We need someone to play the Rhino. Who was cast in this movie?
I like how it was a thing that I noticed and was just like, oh, okay, that's that guy. He looks silly and is being silly. You know,
I love that stuff. My favorite thing on earth.
And yeah, and you just died. You tried to gaslight me in real time. Crazy.
I tried to gaslight you because I apparently had too much faith in the producers of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yes,
Sony, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, yes. Like genuinely, it's up there with casting Jared Leto in anything, I suppose. Like that. That's certainly up there. I don't know, man.
Hey. Early 2000s, I like 30 Seconds to Mars' first album. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like something you would do. You know, we all had our phases. I
haven't listened to it in 20 years, but I do remember liking it.
Yep.
Speaking of Sony and bad movies, Ezekiel Sims, 2-2.
Yeah,
after you play a card with higher power here, give this +2 power and move this to another location.
In the Amazon researching spiders with my mother before she died. Yeah, Ezekiel Sims. I feel like this card is uncomfortably close to Silk side grade for me to get excited about it.
So Angela was good because you're playing like Kitty and back in the day, Nightcrawler, a bunch of like small things. This is not going to be as big as Angela. And also there aren't many cards with like high power. Like once you get to like 8 power, I'm just like, okay, I like putting Gladiator in my deck, but that's kind of it, you know? I like my cards to be cheap and then gain a bunch of power. But maybe I could like Gwenpool them or something to get it to the point where I can make this a 2/8 or a 2/10. I don't know.
I feel like you get the 2/8 pretty reasonably, right? Like even in like a Scream deck or whatever, you just like play a 3, a 5, a 7, you'll get it to 2/8. You know, that's chill.
Oh but, man. Like, can we get another point of power on Cannonball? I mean, don't do that, but like 5.6 cannonball is kind of pathetic with this guy, but anything better would be so much better.
I mean, you just play Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's chill. But I don't
No,
know.
that's
Like,
fair.
do you remember when Zombie Mr. Fantastic came out and we were like, why the hell is this 2.8 so bad? I feel like this is the same kind of thing where it's like, there's going to be a 2.8 and we're going to be like, why the hell is this 2.8 so bad? Hey, look, it's a 2.8 that needs 3 other cards to be played to get to its potential and is really bad when you play it late and it's effectively a 2-2. Damn, never seen that one before. Sorry, effectively a 2-4.
Well, yeah, on the bright side, I guess, if you play it pretty late, it's pretty easy to proc once, and then, yeah, it's a 2-4, which...
Got that silk side grade, baby.
Yeah. That's not too far off. I don't know. I think they need to make more gladiators, more things that are like high power with downside. Because I don't know, those are kind of fun to like think about and build around. And Starbrand is probably the most recent implementation, but it requires too much. I gotta like zero this or enchantress this or Sauron this, right? But like a lot of the other cards like that, it's just like,
I'm sorry, man. I just remember the picture of Paul Giamatti in the Adidas tracksuit.
Dog, you got to go watch the movie. It said it was leaving Netflix soon. I don't know when that was. Maybe it's gone now.
Like, you know, Rhino.
I want to know how much
it's one of those
paid.
cards with a downside. You can play Rhino. Can we get the Paul Giamatti Rhino variant? Oh my god, put that in $100 bundle. I will buy it. Like,
I want an album that is just the Sinister Six in matching tracksuits.
Oh, dude, yes. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's such a good idea. You might be the smartest man alive. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've not the first time I've heard that.
It's so amazing. But yeah, I'll tell you what card that I want with a downside that you want to negate. I want like a small red skull. I want like a 3/8 that says +1 because that's an anti-cerebro card.
Oh, that's sick, actually.
Yeah, I just think that card should exist.
I hate Cerebro, so that card is dope. I play the shit out of it.
Yeah, free game. Call me Glenn Jones. Hit me on my cell phone. Just hit me up.
Honestly, there aren't enough cards that buff your opponent's things.
Yeah,
I know that's like, it sounds kind of dumb, but that is, I've definitely thought that probably as far back as Hope Summers, you know, because we were talking about that earlier, like 2 years ago. I've been thinking this for like 2 years. Every 6 months I think about it.
I think you're right. And give me small red skull. Glenn, my DMs are open. I will charge you, let's say, how much would Electro rob a bank for? I will charge you $1,400.85 for that idea, Glenn.
Or 2 of your finest apes.
I wonder which one's worth less. I haven't really kept up with the Bored Ape economy. Glenn, I need a month's worth of electricity to make it as a Twitch streamer. It's so sick how like the rest of the Sinister Six are like relatively like straightforwardly serious guys. And they're like, you know who we need on our team? The 2 dumbest people in New York City. And they call up Electro and Rhino. And it's like all these very smart guys and then Electro and Rhino. And it's like, well, what are we doing here? What it would like that's so cool. I'm a big fan of that.
Makes me think of how in the movie, I think it was Harry Osborn, the son, was like, you know, what if we had an organized group of villains, nothing super large, you know, keep it kind of small. I'm thinking like 6 of us.
Does he actually say like, I'm thinking 6 and then the camera zooms in?
I think that was basically how it went down. He may not have he may not have said actual 6, but he was like, you know, keep it kind of small or whatever. It was very much implied.
That's so cool, man. I love how incredibly, like, the Sony Spider-Man is just, that whole universe is incredibly cool. The more I learn about the cast of Madam Web, the more I'm amazed that movie sucked. Like, Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced. That's a really good cast. Like, you could sell a movie on that cast alone, and they were like, you know who we need this for? Madam Web.
Right, but this is Paul Giamatti as Rhino. You know, like they were still doing it up 10 years later. They're like, all right, we got the names, we threw money at these people, and then it's like, anyone look at the script? Nah. Anyone listen to any of this dialogue? Nah.
He was in the Amazon with my mother.
In his Rhino outfit.
He was studying tracksuits with my mother before she died.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
honestly, respect.
Yeah, I wish I need a tracksuit. I have multiple times gone to the Adidas website and been like, velour tracksuit. I've never bought one, but I've done this multiple times.
I'm currently wearing Lululemon pants.
What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just like that shit is comfortable as hell. That's why I'm wearing them. These were a gift from my best friend. And it's one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. Like he just knows me. He knows I'm a lazy ass and wants to be comfy, as evident, I guess, by my quilted jacket.
Yeah, I'm wearing a triple XL tall shirt that I got on sale for $5. It is the most comfy shirt that I own. It is the only shirt I own you could reasonably describe as actually oversized on me. Like, that's what it takes to get something that is oversized on my frame. And this, it fits me like a short dress at this point. It's when I was in college, the big thing among the people my age, the girls would all wear like an oversized tee and like really short shorts. And I gotta say, as I've grown up, they were so right about that. They absolutely crushed that shit. They all girls with, like, you know, they draw like the mustache on their fingers so you can do this thing in pictures, you know? That era of women figured out how to dress. It peaked there. I don't think, like, I dress like that now. I don't think that you can get better than that. I straight up most days look like that. Really short shorts, oversized t-shirt. That is my uniform. They crushed it. They nailed it. They were exactly correct. At the time, I was wearing like khakis and button downs because I was a dick. Now, now I see the light.
I could say a lot, but I'm going to move on. Chameleon, 3-3.
Yeah.
Okay. On reveal, copy the text of another card here you revealed this turn.
I don't know why they gave Cerebro 3 another card that says get more Cerebros.
I hate it.
Yep. I hate it too.
Allegedly November 15th is when the hunger goes into packs. Good for you. November 18th, Spider-Man Noir. Formerly 4-4, now 4-6 apparently. On reveal, if your other cards in play cost exactly 8 total, add the top card of your deck here, set its power to 8. So if I curve 1, 2, 3, I have 6.
So if you curve 1 Mr. Sinister 3, you have 8.
Yes.
I cannot think of a single other way to make this happen on 4, but that will work.
Mysterio into 2-drop.
Okay. I don't hate that. What if it's okay. Your 1-drops are Agony and the Hunger. You go, never mind. I hate that. Why am I playing Mysterio with my card that fills up 2 of the slots? which is what Spider-Man Noir does.
Maybe because you have Dazzler in your deck. I don't know.
I think it's also kind of a Merlin card. Really good at manipulating costs on board, both flushing them away and adding one to them.
Kitty's kind of nice. It can help with that too.
The payoff is notable here. Like, this is just a big guy.
What is the best thing to set power to 8 besides like Iron Man?
I'll be honest, I don't think I give a shit. I think I'm just like, this is 414, draw a card.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm in for that.
I think that is good. It is taking up 2 slots for sure, but I think if you have ways to make this extra good, that is pretty helpful and nice, but maybe there isn't enough things.
The other thing that makes me think about Merlin with this guy, other than his efficacy as a cost manipulation guy, is when you polymorph, it takes the smallest power thing. You polymorph this, you get your 8 power thing, and then this 4/6 body turns into a 5-drop. It's like, all right, I'm kind of into that. Because it's not hitting the 8, because that costs 8, or that has 8 power. So you're just like, getting a hell of value off of that.
No, that's good. That's good. I like this card. I wonder if there's something we're missing, because like Brood puts you over the line.
Yep.
Hood kind of does the Kitty thing where if you're short by 1, you know, you always have like that added opportunity. Kate kind of the same thing. Merlin's good, I think.
I think Merlin is that's the biggest thing I've gotten to here is like Merlin and Mr. Sinister. I think that's what you want to be doing here, because Mr. Sinister is pretty good with Merlin, right? Maybe we'll play some Rhino. That's a 2-drop that counts for 3. Like, I don't know that I'll do it. Like, the rock costs 1, so like it's not the most insane thing.
Yeah, so if your 1 was Zabu, you discount the Noir. You could then Kitty Noir on 4.
I don't think you could do that. If your 1 was Zabu, oh no, yeah. If your 1 was Zabu, what you do is you go Zabu,
Rhino 3, Kitty Noir.
Yeah. Or you go Zabu, Rhino, Mr. Sinister with Kitty. Kitty comes back to your hand, and then you have your 8, so you play. The problem is all the things that do this fill up your board, which is why Merlin is just going to be like this guy's best friend. If he ever works, I find it impossible to believe that he's not a Merlin card in there too.
Yeah, otherwise your only other option is to go like 3, 4, 1 plus this guy or something and just make it as like a turn 5 thing, but I don't think that's a thing that you really want to do.
Yeah. The other upside to Mr. Sinister, though, is if you hit Mr. Sinister off of this, it's obviously completely batshit.
Yeah, I mean, you have a full location, I guess, but you have 22.
It would be 3 cards, right? But yeah, it'd be 22.
No, yeah, I know. I mean, full enough, like full-ish.
I find it hard to believe I'm doing non-Merlin things with this. And if I'm doing Merlin things, his competition is pretty stiff. He's got to compete with Werewolf by Night, who is just loving this season. He's got to compete with the zombie Scarlet Witch stuff, which is already pretty damn good. That stuff is quite solid. It's not busted, but it's just like a very solid core. And I think that like that is like where I'm at for Merlin, and I don't know if I want to deviate from that to go do this. I don't know if it's a compelling enough strategy, relatively speaking, because it seems like the ceilings are fairly similar and the floor is much higher on werewolf zombies. The Halloween deck, if you will.
Yeah, I like this card. Is kind of where I'm at. It's just like good stats. I think they need more cards like this. Like super weird sort of input. And it's just like I don't even get why this is the way it is, I suppose, because like I said, if you curve 1, 2, 3, you're at 6. And so it does ask you to do a bunch of weird stuff, but I love that shit. So I don't know how they got here, but I like it.
It almost reminds me of what they said. Some of the things they did for Spider-Ham was like, we explicitly want this card to be super weird, and that's why there were a bunch of weird interactions with like how the cost of the pig works. And I don't know how much of that was like, we want this to be weird versus our game is coded in certain ways that make this card weird. But this guy, it feels like they were like, we're making a weirdo. We want a card that's just super weird. We're just doing a weird card for a weird character. They should cast Nick Cage as the Rhino.
I want to agree with you, but I'm also trying to think if like that has not happened. Anyway, Hydro Man 5/8 on reveal, set the cost of each deck's top card to 1. Cool card. You're going to talk about it, and not because this is related or whatever, but I'm going to get up and go get a water.
Oh, okay. Very nice plug for Hydro Man there. Much like your Electro joke from earlier with the I'm not shocked about that. I will say, I think this card is largely, when I see it, I'm like, oh, 2023 called. It wants its card back. If this card came out in November 2023, we'd be talking. We'd be talking about this card if it was November 2023. But it's November 2025, and I just don't know if this is a thing that I care about right now.
Well, you can Electro and then play this card.
Which does what for me exactly?
I don't know. They both are doing ramp things. They don't work particularly well together, I guess, but
they do not. Yeah, that is. They definitely don't. This guy feels like a card that I would have played in late 2023, early 2024. I could see this as like, I'm doing Mobius Pixie stuff, right? And I'm playing this guy. And now I have another card that's like cool as shit in my Mobius Pixie deck.
Oh,
I would do
that's
that.
sick. I didn't even think about that.
That's the only place I could see this card making sense. It's just those decks haven't been like much worth doing in a long time, but I can totally see it being a thing that you would want to do. It's just that if it ever becomes a thing that we would want to do, you start running into the mirrors, and Mobius mirrors are like the worst shit on earth. So I don't know if I would ever want to opt into the experience,
Well, luckily for you, it's probably pretty bad, so I don't think you'll run into many mirrors. Because what this guy asked you to do in order to actually get a sizable cost reduction is play a bunch of big cards.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think like if you're playing a couple big cards and then you're just happy to get whatever to 1, it's chilling. The downside is if you're playing Pixie, you're playing multiple ones. So that's a little bit awkward if you're doing this and you hit a thing that's already 1. But on the other hand, you could discount this guy. So
what if I hit my Wasp? It'd be so sad.
Okay. Oh, you definitely don't play Wasp in this deck, I think. I think just the thought of
you're saying I'm playing Pixie already.
I am.
No, it's fine. I'll have a Mobius. So my Wasp will still be 0.
Let's surgically remove this Wasp. We're gonna do a SEAL Team 6 insertion into your Marvel Snap game so we can remove Wasp from your game.
You're gonna run a little exfil.
Yeah, we're gonna compromise Wasp to a permanent end. We may or may not crash a helicopter while we do so, but we're definitely getting her out of there.
All right. Deafening Chord. 1 cost skill on reveal. Afflict an enemy character here that costs 3 or less with -1 power and remove its text. I feel like anytime I start with 1 cost skill, I'm gonna be like, I'm in.
Yeah, this card is releasing at the perfect time. That's not even to start with the 1 cost skill stuff, which is obviously important, right? But like 1 cost skill in a world where one of the better decks is a deck that scales off of 1 cost skills in the form of Werewolf and Zombie Scarlet Witch. 1 cost skill that interacts with your opponent, which is a relative weak spot of those decks at a very cheap rate. I think this card has released at the absolute perfect time for what it is. this is a card that, like, when I look at it and I look at Prowler, I start thinking, are they going to nerf Werewolf by Night? Like, that's one of the things that I start thinking about is like, this is such a good season for that kind of stuff. It is quite good. Is it finally Merlin's time, for example? Because, like, I look at these cards and I'm like, all right, Merlin's been kind of messed up for 6 months, right? We all know he's like a power off, right? Like, everyone knows that. It's not like the most pressing concern. Werewolf by Night is getting better and better and better, and the more one-cost skills they make, the better and better and better he gets. Zombie Scarlet Witch, exactly the same deal. And so we're in this space where I think those are the cards that are probably pushing the boundaries right now.
And Zombie Galacti, of course.
The other boundary, perhaps?
Well, you see, there's a ceiling and a floor.
Yes.
And so, anything else to say about Deafening Chord? I just think it's a good card.
I also just think it's a good card. It's the easiest good card of the month.
Prowler 3/4 on reveal. Add to Thief's Tools. Thieves Tools.
Wait, did they actually?
Like Thieves Tools.
Did they do Thief's Tools?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I don't know if that's right or wrong.
I don't either.
Because it's possession of a singular, and it's funny because it's a word that set their cost to 0 if a card moved last turn. What the hell are these things?
They are. One of them is Remote Mines, 1 cost, -2 power to the 2 strongest of your opponent's cards at the location you play at. You just play that card. That's a 1/4. You would just play that card, let alone the Prowler stuff.
Yeah, 1 cost skill, could cost 0, doesn't take a board slot, is 4 power. Vibro Shock Gauntlets, all these cost 1, by the way. Mm-hmm. On reveal, give your highest power card here +2 power. You get +1 energy next turn. Okay.
You would probably play that
card. Yeah. Wasp it up on 1. Boom. Incredible. Flight Artist, 1 cost on reveal. Give your highest power card here +1 power and move it to the right.
Definitely the worst one here. But when you think about how these cards tend to play out in the context of Wolf and Scarlet Witch, you can start to see these cards being particularly valuable. Honestly, at this point, the question is, do I have too many things that add too many cards to my hand? Like, there's there's Merlin, there's Kate Bishop. I want all of them. I love every single one of them. But I already have that problem. Like, is overfilling your hand going to become a legitimate balance lever against spamming this crap?
Man, guess I better play Wasps. I can empty my hand and get more of these tools.
Incredible work.
Please don't master mold me.
Yeah, this card is, I think, my pick for my favorite card of the month. It might not be the best, because I think there's a real chance that Spider-Punk goes in Move, and Move is the best deck, and so he is part of the best deck, and that, like, sort of cheats that out. I think there's a real chance that Deafening Chord is just as good as this guy, because it is just a cheaper, easier to include card. But this is the guy that is the most, he does the most stuff. And it's like, I look at him and I see Kate Bishop. Is it going to be the best possible thing you can do? No. Are you going to run into a bunch of decks where he is utterly irreplaceable because there is not another thing that does what he does? Yes. You are going to run into that with Prowler.
Yeah, this is a pretty good comp to a 3-cost Kate. Like, if we were going to make Kate as a 3, what would it look like? I think 3/4 is a worse stat line than 2/3, but getting the rider for, like, oh, these can cost 0 if you do a thing, like, that's pretty cool. I think that is a good way to sort of soup this up a little bit. And then these being skills in a lot of ways are better than arrows because they don't actually take board slots.
I'm honestly a little shocked this isn't the season pass. It's not. And I don't know why. Like, it just screams season pass to me.
It could be a season pass card. I think the rider for making them cost 0 would maybe have to be less narrow than moving a card, probably. But
yeah, I can see that. Are those all the cards?
That's listed on the schedule, yeah, because the next one is Zombie Century going to the PAX.
Cool. I've already talked about which ones stick out for me. Who are your ones that you're like really like, oh, I want to mess around with this? Because I feel like Spider-Man Noir, I have no idea how to rate. There are 3 that I'm pretty confident in, and then this guy could be literally anything. And it's like a mystery box.
Yeah, Noir, I'm excited for, and I think is not a weak card, but if what you have to do is play Mr. Sinisters and whatnot, maybe the deck it ends up in is not very strong. So we'll see about that. I'm interested to find that out. Deafening Court, I think, is just generically good. Like, I'm, playing Cosmic Ghost Rider for oftentimes a similar effect. And this is much, much cheaper, has like those werewolf tie-ins that you mentioned and whatnot. And then I guess third is Superior Spider-Man. And I do think you're probably right. Like maybe Prowler's better, but it comes out almost a full month later. Like this is the last card in the season. So
tell me a little bit about what you like about Superior Spider-Man. What is it you think that I'm missing?
Dude, I just like energy. I'm not saying because of strength. I'm just saying because it's sweet.
Nice. I like energy, says man whose favorite card costs 0 energy.
Well, I like efficiency. How about that? If I have cheaper cards and more energy, I could probably do all the stuff I want to do.
Can I say that I'm sad that Superior Spider-Man isn't a 4/8? Like, obviously, with this stat line, it'd be worse. I get it. But Superior Spider-Man is Doc Ock in Peter's body, and having it be a 4/8 just feels like such a slam dunk to me. Just 8 power. It's Doc Ock. Come on, man. Just like, come on.
Original Doc Ock was 5'10". Was it like a 5'12" at some point?
Original Doc Ock was a 5'8" that got buffed to 5'10", I believe.
Okay.
And then I want to say when they buffed it to 5'10", I could be fully hallucinating this. My memory's going in my old age. People were like, oh, it's worse because he gets shanked now.
Oh, yeah. No, I do remember that.
That's what I remember happening is people like, oh, God, I played Doc Ock my opponent. I pull my opponent's Shang. It fucking sucks, right? But yeah, that's that. It turns out if you just Arishim that motherfucker out on turn 4, it's really good when you have a 6 and 7 energy turn to figure out the rest of the game with, even if he dies.
I still have the screenshot that says that my win rate when playing Doc Ock was like 92% or whatever.
That rocks. All right. So we
should
actually
have said 88%. It should have just said that regardless.
I actually thought you said it was 88% when you brought that up previously.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like I actually did think that.
Now I'll have to go find the screenshot.
And
then if it says 88, I'll be kind of sad because I won't know if they're lying to me or not.
I'm trying to think about what the equivalent casting of like Paul Giamatti Rhino is for Doc Ock, and I thought about it and I came up with 2 answers. Dave Bautista and The Rock. Like those are
the same person.
No, because Batista's like a good actor. Like, I feel like if they cast Dave Bautista as Doc Ock, people would be like, this is ridiculous, and then they'd watch the movie and they'd be like, I'm actually really impressed with Dave Bautista's Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Whereas if they cast The Rock as Doc Ock, all anyone would do is make Doc Rock jokes, and it would be terrible.
That is terrible.
So
we can't ever do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
The Rock can live forever in the DC universe. Don't come over to the MCU.
The hierarchy of power in the MCU is about to change. It's The Rock as Doc Ock.
Oh god. Problem is Dave is already Drax, right?
Yeah. It's actually a problem because like Dave Bautista's a really good actor. Like, I don't know how much you've watched of him. He was in the Glass Onion Knives Out movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. He was in Blade Runner 2049. for about like 10 minutes, but he was really good in that. He was at the beginning. He was the guy with the very tiny glasses. And I appreciate that.
I saw that in the theaters, but that was like 2014, 2013, somewhere in there.
I'm pretty sure it was like 2018. It's just like pre-COVID, so you don't even really register it.
Oh, okay. There's a reason I'm thinking this, but yeah, I don't remember it at all. If it shows up on like Netflix or something, maybe I'll watch it again and see if I can remember.
In every movie that I have watched, I've been like, that Dave Bautista has been in that isn't named Guardians of the Galaxy, I've been like, oh, he's actually just like a good actor. Oh, okay. He's like, when you watch a movie with The Rock in it, he's doing The Rock. Like he's
good at that.
Yeah, he literally does his wrestling finisher in like the Fast and Furious movies multiple times. Like literally, he's just doing The Rock. Dave Bautista is just like an actor. Like I don't even really think there's a comparison between them. But that's sort of my equivalent of like Paul Giamatti Rhino is The Rock Doc Ock. That's like the only thing I can think of that's like more ridiculous than that. Because I do feel like Dave Bautista would pull it off. I gotta be honest with you.
All right. Well, if you think of any more Bautista movies I should watch, let me know.
I heard good things about Knock at the Cabin. It is late career Shyamalan, so it's like, you know, give or take. But I did watch Trap, and that was really quite good, but entirely carried by Josh Hartnett just being unnerving in a very pretty sort of way. Like, the main character being like former teenage heartthrob Josh Hartnett, who has aged into a man who you can tell is attractive but is off in some way, does a lot for that movie. It is really quite good. I don't know if I would call the movie good. Like it's a great performance from Josh Hartnett.
I like Josh Hartnett. The movie is called Trap.
That's not the one with Bautista in it. It's just the most recent It's the most recent Shyamalan movie I've seen, and okay. It's like, all right, late career Shyamalan, pretty hit or miss, right? But yeah, I think I want to watch Knock at the Cabin. It's been a while since I've seen a decent Bautista flick.
He was in Dune 2, apparently.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't really like great in. He was basically cast as like, I don't know, space Brock Lesnar. Like that's basically his character. So all he really had to do is like yell at people. There was one really good scene where he like showed like, I guess a little bit of pathos, but like that just, the character's name is the Beast Raban. So it's not like there's a lot of nuance to the portrayal there.
Oh, he was in C. He was pretty good in C.
He's good. He's a good actor. This is a Dave Bautista fan club podcast.
Okay.
Who is actually, this sucks. I can't believe I just remembered this. Woody Harrelson Carnage is really up there in terms of ridiculous casting choices.
Yeah, that was like it does kind of make sense, but it was also really bad.
It's like, I get what you were going for. He's 30 years too old to play this part.
Yeah, again, Sony.
Yeah. I feel like one day we should just do a podcast. Maybe this is the anniversary where we just go through the casting for every Sony Marvel movie and see what incredible decisions they've made and if they can top Paul Giamatti in an Adidas tracksuit. I don't think they can. Like, it is
probably not.
It is unbelievable. Cause I think I don't know, man. That's
honestly I didn't notice the tracksuit during the movie.
I feel like that's the perfect capstone, right? Because it's like they had this incredibly funny visual and they were like, what if we just don't put it in the movie?
Well, no, it more so speaks to my like TV watching habits where I have a thing on and the fact that I even noticed that it was Paul Giamatti it should be impressive, because I'm generally not looking at the screen very much. This is why I can't watch anything with subtitles.
Wait. Oh, okay. There's a rapper named Action Bronson who's famous for like sort of, I don't know, I guess you'd describe them as like Zen koans run through the lens of like New York slang. And so I think guys that are famous for this, like Action Bronson and Danny Brown. There's a really famous Danny Brown line that's like, got a Mexican homie named Chinese Mike, where it's just like, that's the whole, that's the whole thing, right? Like, it's just that kind of thing. I feel like Paul Giamatti in a tracksuit is like sort of in that vein, where it's just like this, there's this element of surreality injected into what is happening here on a level that I don't really think you see in day-to-day life. It's just a very weird concept to me. It's what makes it so funny to me, I think. This is
shout out Sony.
We're casting Paul Giamatti as Chinese Mike. That's in the Danny Brown movie. Shout out Danny Brown. A lot of great music, actually. Less of a fan of Action Bronson, but mostly due to lack of exposure, I would say. But yeah, that's going to be it from me and Gerry, presumably. I don't know. Maybe he'll keep podcasting when I turn this video off. Thank you so much for listening. I've been KMBest. I'm highly investigating purchasing Paul Giamatti's Adidas tracksuit. And we'll see you in the next one.